Hey, welcome to Steve and Michele Giving Back. And today we're just going to talk about ourselves and what got us started and who we are. We've been doing a podcast now for about 2 months and really haven't told anything about us per se and what we do. And I know you can see our tagline at the bottom as far as the Shaw Group Financial, but I just thought maybe it'd be really a great segment just to, who we are, why we got started, and then give you some great tips at the end. So go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, thanks, Michele. Hey, we are very excited to be here and share with you the reason, for our doing this. And we feel that it's very important that businesses highlight and give back and share with other business owners their struggles and their goals and dreams, because I think everyone gets into business because they have a goal and a dream, some big vision, right?
Right, or they want to make something of themselves or be bigger.
And they have a big why, and Simon Sinek has always said that you got to start with your why, and so that's what this episode's about, is about our why, our particular reason for wanting to help people with their finances, help them grow along the way. And for me, basically, I was never really taught much about money, never really sort of, all the information was out there, but it wasn't part of my world. It wasn't, and...
Well, we didn't grow up with Google. Right, so we didn't grow up with Google, so we couldn't really, but we could read books or stuff like that about, money and trial and error, right? So
You're right, and it always seemed it was someone else was making money. Someone else was doing those things that wasn't part of our world.
Absolutely.
And because no one really reached out. I mean, our parents were doing the best they can, right? And but there wasn't that till you start going, wow, if I had known way back when, we would be further along. But you can't really look behind. You have to currently look forward. And so what our big why is that we have a capacity to help people, show others how to, get on the road to financial independence, how to take control of their finances. Because wouldn't you agree right now, during these times, things that we thought were our jobs have been eliminated.
Oh my gosh, right? So I mean, think about it. Our jobs, our good time jobs are eliminated. Our security with those jobs are now gone. I mean, just think of all the companies that have just folded.
Yeah, and an industry like the restaurant business. Who would have thought? And that's been altered. It's coming back, but.
And you were in the restaurant business for a while, weren't
you?
Yeah,
I was in it, loved it, but too many hours and didn't really like the working nights. You start getting older, you don't want to. And I wish I had started saving sooner, but I was also involved in real estate as well, and I loved real estate, but real estate wasn't my passion. It wasn't really until Michele got into financial services and seeing that of helping people and reaching out and not just going after it for just the money, right? So,
right. Because here's the thing. Like you, Steve, I wasn't taught anything at school. My parents, we had money, but it wasn't, it wasn't falling from the sky, and it certainly didn't grow on trees. So I was like, where do all these people get their money? You got to be a doctor, or a lawyer, or whatever. You got to go to school for a really long time, and you got to get that great job. And so I just thought, oh my gosh, what if I'm a C student? What if I'm a B student? And then you're kind of pigeonholed into what you can do. And for us, it was, you're pigeonholed into something, right? And so
Exactly. You get the fixed mindset, and that was your certain way. Okay, unless you went to this college or this or that, you are going to be an employee,
Right.
and you had to work for. And it worked for our parents' generation. Honestly, they worked for companies for 30 years, and retired with full pension, retired with their Social Security intact, and
Right.
the house that they built, they bought 30 years ago, all of a sudden increased in value. Then they could sell it, and
And moved to Florida
and,
or Vegas,
and life was
my
all
parents.
set. Now those days are gone, and I see the value of what we do. Teach people how to become CEOs of their own life, and not
I like that.
exactly not rely on a company, some outside source because you look at Seattle, the housing prices have gone crazy. They're 700,000, and yet the median income is $70,000, $80,000. How are people affording that? So that's people are being priced out of their own neighborhoods, and we see it. I see it as part of the real estate market. I see that there's the homeless population is just increased, and anyone going into Seattle knows that it's crazy, and it's because all of a sudden the big money's come in, and the small for the low income housing is going away.
Right, because builders are wanting to build for more housing and getting shipped out. So that's not okay.
So we're motivated to help families navigate that source and know that every single person, individual family, has a duty to themselves to make sure that their and their family's taken care of, and a lot of it simple steps, right?
Simple steps, yeah. So simple steps, and what makes our company different, one is I put the fund back in, we put the fund back in the finances. And I know we don't have high energy going on right now, but just think about it. If we sat across the kitchen table and we helped you with your finances and we put money back on your table, how excited would you be about that? Because trust me, I'm excited about that. And so it's just simple steps. One, how about this? For the next 30 days, who's ever watching, I want you to put every receipt that you have in a shoebox. Put everything that you do, your cup of coffee, your latte, your, whatever it is that you pay for, put it in a shoebox and keep a tally of it. Because really, first thing that we have to own is, where does our money go? So if you think about that, where does our money go? So Steve and I looked at we did our taxes, and we were just itemizing, and I'll tell you what, I could have bought a franchise at Buffalo Wild Wings. I don't know if I can say that on air, but oh my gosh, we could have bought a franchise.
Going to that place, right?
Before COVID hit, right? We were just going there all the time, watching things, and just things are just flying. Money was just going out the door. And because of COVID, I want to say that we actually have saved $1,700 a month.
Wow, isn't that crazy?
Steve is dying. But it was like going out and gas. Mostly it was gas, driving from here and there and everywhere.
That's one good thing about COVID. It's going to really, I believe, impact the environment that
but
kept people from driving.
But it wasn't until we actually started, putting that, hey, where's our money going, right? And so that's what I want to challenge you guys, is one of the things, where's your money going? And then once we figure out where that goes, and you're aware of it, now we can start doing something with that. Like if you still, need to go get that latte, absolutely go get it. But how about maybe 3 days a week you make your own, right? And then you go out for the other stuff. And so those are just simple little steps that we start with,
So Michele, let me ask you, what was it that got you on this path, that like you really said, this is where I want to go? What is your why, Michele?
Ooh, great question. Obviously, I didn't prep for this.
That's all right.
Okay, so here we go. So what's my why? I grew up in a military family. My dad was in the Navy, and we moved from place to place. And before that, my mom was a single mom, and we struggled. My brother had to go to work at a very young age and bring money into the house. My story is not that much different than anybody else's. And I saw how hard my mom worked and how hard my brother worked for that to happen. And I don't know if anybody knows what powdered milk is, but it's or powdered eggs, and that's what we kind of grew up on. And I thought, man, there's got to be a better way. So fast forward, all of a sudden my mom got remarried to my stepdad, who is amazing. And all of a sudden I found out what the Navy was all about. And it was like we moved and we had the commissary and we had all these really cool things. And, it's just changing your circumstance. And so, like most people, you get married and you move on. And I had kids. And before I met my love of my life here, not at Beauty Loco, but here in Washington.
Oh, you're talking about me?
The thing was, I started off as that single mom, and sometimes history repeats itself. And even though my kids didn't have powdered milk or anything like that, but we had a lack. And I thought, man, there's got to be a way to stop the cycle. And then all of a sudden, it was like simple steps. Tracking your money, getting out of debt, stop paying for that credit card. And it was learning about a 3-tiered system, Steve. And you know what that is. And so the 3-tiered system was how to save your money. And that's a whole other topic. But my why that I wanted to do was because once I learned simple steps on how to save money, where to put my money, how to make it grow, what is compounding interest, right? Once I started learning all of these nuances per se, I just knew that I couldn't keep it quiet. And I didn't want to keep it quiet, right? My mom died of cancer about 10 years ago, and I thought, man, if there was just a better fix, if there was just a better than chemo, if it was just better, would you seek it out? And so that was me. If there's just a better way, would you seek it out?
Yeah, exactly. And that's I saw Michele get moved and get up every day and doing all this stuff. She actually was going 4 hours, spending 3 hours in transit to go to her job, good job, and then going to these meetings and learning more about the business. And I was involved in real estate, and I loved real estate, but it just wasn't my thing. It was more of a
well, you wanted a family business.
Yeah, family business, and I was doing this mostly myself, and real estate was more of a game. For me, it came out to either someone won, someone lost. And you negotiated the transaction. And for me, I never liked that. I liked the idea of a win-win situation to help someone. I would benefit by helping others. And that was the main thing that I saw. And I realized my lack of in the financial world, and here I am in finances. I'm still not great, but I keep learning and want to pass that on to other people and other families and say you can learn this, even at you don't have to be a 21 or 25-year-old. You can still get into this game. You can take control no matter where you are at any stage to control your finances. And we were able to do that, and that's what gets us up in the morning, and we're really excited, and we like to share our successes with other small business owners through our podcast, and it's exciting to see people really going after their dreams, right?
Right,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Going after their dreams. And that's what we're here and we're all about. And so we just, what else can we talk about? Actually, we've got like a little bit of time on this podcast.
Oh, well, yeah. So let's see. Well, how about we do a tip? So let's talk about three. How about we talk about three accounts that everybody should have, Steve?
Yeah, exactly. Right. What we profess and we teach everyone to have three main accounts when you getting, to control your finances. And we advocate paying yourself first. That's the main thing that everyone should keep in mind is pay yourself first.
Okay, so let's break that down even a little bit more, because when I was told to pay myself first, I paid all of the bills, and then I paid all of, out to dinner, out to eat, and then whatever was left over, that's what I paid myself.
Yeah, unfortunately, what happens is that then that all gets absorbed in, and something else will come out.
Next month, I'll pay myself first.
So we like to have a payment set up automatically through your checking account. So every month that's going out. So every month you don't have to think about it, and it becomes, because otherwise at the end of the month it's like,
because most people are living paycheck to paycheck right now.
And something comes up. Mm-hmm. So we want to make saving a habit.
Right.
That's basically, habits are what's going to help you. You get in the habit of saving.
Mm. So the first account is an emergency account.
Yep.
And how much? About $2,000 to $3,000 is what the average should have in their emergency account.
Just something for anything unexpected, expenses and day-to-day living. And then after that, we set up what's called an intermediate account. The intermediate account is to save for your purchase of your home, a car, or some goal that you want to attain.
And vacation, because you all know, have heard me before, I'm always about the vacations.
But the main thing about the immediate account, it's in a interest-bearing. It's interest-bearing as opposed to keeping it in just a checking account. Because the main thing about a checking account or in the bank, it's getting less than 1%. Mm-hmm. And the bank is making money off your money, our money.
Yep.
I think there's somewhere in the nature of $2 to $3 trillion that are just sitting there not collecting any interest. Mm-hmm. And the banks, that's why the banks are the biggest buildings in town, because they take our money, house it, and make money off of it.
Yep. And that's a whole other segment of training.
Yeah, so we want people to make money off their own money. So we set an immediate account on funds. We don't need to we can't really talk particulars, but it's just a vehicle where you get a higher interest rate than your checking account traditionally. Mm-hmm. And then we put your money in the long term, set it and forget it. And that's the retirement account that you don't touch. You just let it grow, and what's going to make you help you in retirement years.
Sure, because in retirement years, I don't want to be thinking about, hey, what can I not afford, right? I want to be able to have choices at retirement, because you've worked so hard all these years, and now, you're looking for your golden years, you're looking for retirement, and then, sadly, what we find is that people haven't prepared, they didn't know, and they're trying to play catch up, and that's really what makes me sad. Right, is that they're afraid, no one's reaching out to them in the finance industry, because some people don't make enough, to be honest, in the financial world.
Well,
to help them. A
lot of financial companies, you have to come in with a certain net worth, certain amount, anywhere from $50,000 on up. Mm-hmm. What's great about Investigate, we take you where you are, and you just get you to start saving. That's all our goal, is to get you to start saving for your own retirement. Mm-hmm. and paying yourself first. And we are not in the financial management of money. We're in the financial growth of money. We want to make your money grow for you.
Right.
And those are just a couple things, and we love talking to people about this. And Michele wants to make it fun, and I guess it should be fun.
Well,
it should be
making finances fun is always good.
Right, because you don't want it to be the subject, a taboo subject, and something that I think traditionally that's always been one of the three things you don't talk about. The three things that are most important to any individual are money, politics, and religion, and yet no one talks about them.
Well, sometimes they talk about it, but it's over Facebook, so it's not real conversation. But they all should be talked about.
Yeah, everyone should be taught and spread of information and not divisive or accusing. We like to have an honest, open, and friendly discussion. Fun discussion.
There you go. Yeah, he's getting there, people. Trust me.
We can't. We won't,
he's a numbers guy.
We won't talk about religion and politics, but we will talk about money.
Yes.
And,
and whether it's lack of or want more, abundant. Yeah. So anyway, do we have some tips for today before we
yes.
hang out? So, but as he's pulling those up, that's who we are. That's where our hearts are. That's what the Shaw Group is all about, and it's all about helping business owners, helping Middle America walk through the finance grid and help meet them where they are.
Okay.
And giving back along the way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, one of these tips is great. How many is too many credit cards? We've all talked about the idea of get rid of your credit cards. Don't keep a credit. But credit cards are useful tools. They are useful tools, and convenience and security, especially now when there's no cash, and we're going into where cash is not common anymore. So you really have to have a card, whether it's a debit card or a regular credit card. And when you're traveling, buying a major appliance, yes, you're supposed to have a credit card. But we try not to limit the amount of cards, especially store credit cards.
So wait, we try to limit, not try not.
Yeah, we limit. Let's not say try, okay? We limit the amount of credit cards. Try is not a word that's in our vocabulary anymore.
So we want to limit them.
Yeah. And so and also you have to be on top of your credit score as well. And if you have too many credit cards, that can impact your credit cards.
And I think a lot of people don't understand how to improve your credit score. And I think we could do another short segment on, how do I improve my credit score, right? I paid this off at the end of the month, but yet, my credit score doesn't go up. And there's a reason for that. So we should do another segment on that one.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, if you have too many credit cards, it impacts your credit score, and credit score can help hurt you when you're applying for a mortgage, to buy a house. So it's good to keep balances low on credit cards, like less than
20%.
Yeah, 20% of what your credit limit is, and try to pay it off at the end of the month. Obviously, the ones try to get a lower credit card score if you need to take a major purchase that you cannot pay off right away. Anything that revolves clothes, immediate gas, that stuff should be paid off immediately at the end of the month if you have a larger purchase, an appliance. But get a credit card because you can find them out there with a lower interest rate. And but if you have, you want to get, if you transfer a balance, try to get look for those promotional 0%.
Yep.
offers.
So that's what I used to do. So I had a credit card, So I'm not saying that I was perfect. Trust me, I'm right there with you. So I had credit cards. So I would take one credit card because it was like zero balance for the next 6 months or 9 months, and I would transfer from my high balance credit card to my lower balance credit card, and or with zero balance. And it's just eventually that's a great strategy, but eventually you really need to just pay it off, right?
See, the danger of having a lot of credit cards is that you're unable to service your debt. You're paying the minimum amount every month, and it hurts you. Your debt is more 20%, we think, but if it's more than 30% of your credit, it does impact you. And don't add too many credit cards. I know they give you these great, hey, go get a free credit score get a credit card from a Macy's or wherever. Stay away from that. Mm-hmm. Try to keep it to one major store credit card, one major bank credit card, and a debit card. And I believe that's a good healthy
bottom line.
And pay off your debt. And that's a quick tip. This is Steve, my wife Michele. We are part of the Shaw Group, and we're very excited to talk to you. And please join us on our podcast at BD Local. So thank you so much.
Bye. Have a great day.